Hello, scholars. Today we're going to talk about how sometimes nonfiction writers tell information in the order it happens. This can look like the events in a story, but here in a nonfiction book, as we cover a topic, we're talking about the steps it takes for that topic to happen. For example, in this text, I Make Clay Pots by Leslie Johnson, we are going to learn about how this girl makes clay pots. I want you to notice how the author shows each of the steps in the order that it happens. I Make Clay Pots by Leslie Johnson. Illustrated by Bryn Barnard. Here is the clay. I roll the clay. I shape the clay. I smooth the clay. I paint the clay. I bake the clay. Now it is a pot. So now I want us to think about one of the things that happens first. Now we can use the illustrations to guide us, or we could even think about the words that are on the page to help us know what step we're on. I'm going to start with the number 1. Or I could write the word first. First. What does she do first? She's holding the clay. But it looks like the first thing she does is she rolls the clay. Awesome. So let me go ahead and try this out. I'm going to do my best to draw and illustrate. I'm going to draw a hand. And another hand. So here are my 2 hands. And here I'm going to draw the clay that she's rolling. So step 1. First, I roll the clay. So first, roll the clay. Let's see what happens next. Over here on top, I'll write number 2. And I'll write the word next. So she rolls the clay. Oh, and it looks like she shapes the clay with her fingers. So for this drawing, I'm actually going to start by drawing the bowl or the pot. And I'm going to draw some fingers working with the pot. There's one. See, this finger is bending in. And here I have another hand. And there it is. We see her fingers shaping the clay. And I'm going to write that down. Shape the clay. And here, step number 3, or last, let's see. What's the last thing she does? I smooth the clay. Excellent. So now I'm going to have my jar or my pot here. It's kind of in a shape of a cylinder. And it looks like she's using some type of tool to shape the clay. And here it is. Smooth the clay. So here in our story, I Make Clay Pots, we saw how the author talks about the steps in order. The reason they do that is because when you're learning about something new and how things are made, sometimes it's super helpful to go through the steps. You might have seen some of these in a recipe book. For example, if I were to look at a recipe book, I might notice that there are steps. So here I'm going to show you a recipe book. And if I wanted to make cookies, it looks like I have my ingredients here, and then it tells me the steps. First, I need to preheat my oven. Then I need to mix together some ingredients. And then I need to put it on my cookie sheet and then bake it. So in nonfiction books, writers sometimes will tell you information in the order it happens. Today, we're going to read a book about ice cream. And we're going to learn about all the steps it takes for ice cream to be made, from the moment it comes out as milk until you find it inside of your grocery store freezer.